Hello there, welcome. I clicked the button already. You didn't get to see me click the button for Daily Dominion. Spanish. Well, do we have buy? Not really. There's not truly plus buy. I mean, there's sort of you can get plus buy from cavalry. Not a lot of attacking. Fortune teller is a pretty weak attack. Conquest. So what I was gonna say is that normally if you have a lot of plus buy, here you could do a big conquest turn. You wouldn't have to worry about the provinces at all. You could just build enough draw and buy like 4 or 5 conquests in a turn while gaining some silvers with artificer, and you would just score more than any amount of province stuff can do. Yeah, unfortunately that's not really going to work here because we don't have buy. We can still use conquest potentially to make up some points. But there's going to be a difficulty here with a lack of plus buy for conquest specifically. There is artificer though, which means we still have ways to gain like extra duchies, estates, and provinces on a turn quite easily. But the conquest itself is going to be a little tough. I guess we've seen the page line before, but that's going to be, I think, pretty important here. Cavalry will be quite useful. There's quite a lot of stuff. I'll probably just talk about as it comes up, if it comes up. One thing that will be important is using banish, which lets you exile any number of cards with the same name from your hand. So banish is going to be our trashing here. Hopefully we'll eventually draw a hand with 2 or 3 estates and $4. We'll exile estates. Exile means you put it on your exile mat. It's sort of like trashing it, only it is possible to get them back, and they are count as being a part of your deck at the end of the game. You can take cards off the exile mat when you gain another copy of cards that are on the mat, and then you can take all of them if you want back into your deck. Anyway, it's going to be our trashing. We probably won't be pulling stuff off the exile mat here. We need to buy something. I was going to say patron, but it's really not very good. Our goal here is going to be to get a champion relatively quickly and otherwise just have draw cards and then artificers. So I may open caravan, which isn't necessarily a great opening all the time. This is pretty fortunate. We can just buy an artificer. Hitting 5 was going to be somewhat of a challenge with our opening. At least it was going to be pretty delayed until we could get some treasure or some silvers from treasure hunter and so on. But since we just hit 5, we don't necessarily need to hit 5 again as a price point. We just need to draw a lot of cards until we can otherwise. So I'm tempted, man, it would have ruled if we had drawn an estate here, but I am tempted to go ahead and banish even just the 2 estates. The only other thing I would think about doing here, and maybe I will, is just going ahead and taking a cavalry. Maybe we wait on the banish. So I'm going to discard 4 cards with artificer and gain a cavalry. When you gain cavalry, you draw some cards. Artificer top decked the cavalry, so we just drew it immediately, which is okay. Actually probably would have been a little better in the world where that doesn't happen, which actually we can even take another one, which is maybe excessive at this point actually. But it would be nice to get this shuffle triggered rather than having whatever these bottom 5 are, which are like estate and a bunch of coppers, I think. There may be a page. If there's a page, it's not so bad. And then I will buy an experiment. It could be caravan, but I think experiment. We're just trying to get the champion going, and then we're going to gain a lot of cavalries. Yeah, there was a page. This is good. We don't... Well, these 4 cards were garbage. They didn't spend a whole turn in a shuffle, which is nice. Whatever we top deck here is going to be drawn by warrior. We don't necessarily even have to top deck anything. The cavalries would be a consideration for like cycling, but I think we'll just go with nothing. Okay, so we could go ahead and banish. The other option is to like buy a bazaar, but probably don't need it. I'm gonna just discard or exile these 2 estates. We're up to hero. I will go ahead and get a second treasure hunter. I think we'll be able to do. Treasure hunter also interacts with conquest, but the problem with the limiting thing with conquest here really is that it's difficult to buy several of them, or somewhat difficult to buy several of them. We may still make it work in the end. I'm not totally sure. We could go for a copper banish here. At least a partial copper banish would be okay. I think we'll do that. We get 3 coppers out of the deck. That's a pretty good buy. We're not going to trigger this shuffle because it's got the hero, or we want to put the champion into the shuffle. Again, we could do a partial banish, though I think I'm going to save the banishes for like maybe cleaning up all the rest of the coppers if we can get that, rather than just the 2. So it's like between experiment and caravan, I guess, in my mind. The caravans are like permanent draw. The experiments are a little more spiky. I guess since we're already getting the champion, and at this point it's reasonable to just be on caravans, I think. We could try this. I'm trying to get to the champion, so we're going to top deck an experiment. We did get there. That's nice. Apparently the bot is doing conquest stuff, which is pretty cute. It's kind of surprising, but pretty funny. I mean, it's more or less just randomly tumbled into this, right? But it's still pretty funny. I don't think it's gonna help it, but so we do have the champion down now, so we can just start loading up on caravans, or not caravans, cavalries. Alternatively, we can I don't know what's in the shuffle. I mean, it's probably okay to draw it. Because now we don't have to worry about, once you have champion down, you don't have to worry about plus action effects at all. So we just can play as many terminals as we want. Wouldn't be crazy to have more pages. I don't hate just buying more cavalries, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what's in here at this point. Get some more horses down. That seems fine. We could banish the estate, but I'm going to buy... We'd probably just keep this estate. Probably the only thing we try to banish for the rest of this game are the coppers. It's fine to hold the 1 estate in deck. And this is probably either another caravan or like, let's just gain the, we'll just gain the other stuff with Artificer. Oh, they have harvest. That's really awful. um, we bottom decked a bunch of. What can we do this turn? Okay, so there are probably ways to like really get the order of this correct. I'm not gonna worry about doing it, frankly. We have 8 boats, so we can do. Here's what we'll do. So we're gonna end our actions. We're gonna buy a cavalry. We're gonna play these all these, and then we're gonna play warrior, draw 2 horses, but now these 6 cards on top of our deck are all horses. Also, we trash their warrior, which is kind of nice. And then we have this banish, so we'll go ahead and exile the remaining coppers. So now the deck is like very clean. And we can really start going on the draw stuff and gaining some more artificers and such. The draw here is not super powerful because it's ultimately just like lab effects, kind of, in terms of the number of cards you have to play to the draw you get. Excuse me. But that's all right. Let's get another artificer. We may not. I guess I didn't really. No, I'll probably buy a cavalry to trigger him at the end. Let's get another page. The pages can become warriors eventually, which is nice. So now we have the horses in, and now we're going to buy the cavalry to trigger again a shuffle that has a bunch of horses in it. A thing you can do here is like Conquest and then exile the silvers. But it's whatever. Could buy another caravan. We could buy a cavalry and a page. This does let us play this cavalry as well. Okay. There's like a silver in here, I think, but that's all right. And the bot, of course, has pretty good money situation, right? I mean, they have a lot of silvers for now, but we're gonna blow up the silvers. Like, what did they use to buy this province? 3 silvers. Yeah, we're gonna destroy all the silvers using warrior. So since the money base for the bot, they have 1 gold, I have a gold. The money base for the bot is all in silver. We're just going to pretty much completely destroy that. Because, like, watch the warrior place here. We probably should have got another artificer. That's all right. So the warrior play here trashed 2 silvers. And then we flip, trash another 2 silvers. So there have been like 15 silver gains. I have 4 left. So they only have 4 of their 11 silvers still. And we'll get probably all of them before the end. Yeah, I definitely could have gained another useful card, or gained another artificer with artificer, but that's okay. Sure, we'll go ahead and start scoring a little bit here. We have 3, so there's room for one more warrior. So we'll leave the rest of these as pages, but we'll do one more to treasure hunter. The bot isn't really gaining a whole lot of cards per turn. Otherwise, we could think about doing the banish stuff, but it's just not. It's not really worth it, or it's not that. Not the banish stuff, the conquest stuff. The banish potentially could have been involved in that. I think I do want another artificer. Like the warrior here gets another silver. I don't know what my money situation is exactly. Guess it's not that much money actually. So we kind of missed our shot to like get. Well, we also don't trigger a shuffle here. I'm not gonna take the last cavalry. So we missed. Yeah, we missed double by a buck, which is sort of sad, but that's okay. We can double. We can maybe triple here. They do have this. That's kind of fun. They do have this harvest, which gives them a little bit of money. I'm not sure if we can triple here or not. We should be able to get close to it. Yeah, actually, we should be able to triple here, and that'll be the game. I don't even think it's especially hard. So we're just going to take. This time we're not going to save any horses for later. We're going to use them to do artificer stuff. How much money do we have? We do have 16 in bucks. So we can gain 1 cavalry and it'll be all right. We do need to discard some of this stuff at some point though, so. Not 100% sure I have enough to triple here. Well, I guess I already have triple in hand. Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about it like that. Whoops. Since this is guaranteed to redraw all that. We can get. We got an extra duchy to go. Well, I don't even think. I mean, that wasn't. I mean, what's the deck? The fact that the bot even hit province there at that point was sort of lucky. Because it hadn't like exiled any of these coppers. This was just the deck. There was still a silver, I guess, before then, but there were ways to get extra points if you absolutely had to. Though they weren't super great because of the lack of plus buy. like I said. Though we could have still emptied all of the duchies easily before the end, so the bot would have had to get to 6 provinces. The score even only looks like this because the bot had all these conquest points. Anyway, that was a pretty interesting board. Not quite as explosive as maybe it looks at first glance, though. It's not like I totally played it all to its full potential. We didn't really see the turns where, you know, there would have been turns where we could have gone like quad duchy, which is actually quite a bit of resources being put out, to be fair. So anyway, nice kingdom. Got to use most of it. Actually, we didn't use that much of it, but there were some nice interactions there all the same. So thanks for watching. Take care. Catch you tomorrow.